Jesus often showed God's love through amazing moments. These moments helped his followers learn to trust him, even when things felt scary. This story teaches us what happens when we keep our eyes on Jesus, and what happens when we look away. One evening, Jesus asked his disciples to sail across the sea in a boat. The sky grew dark as they moved farther from shore. Jesus stayed behind to pray, while the disciples traveled across the water. Soon, strong winds began to blow. Waves splashed against the boat, and the disciples worked hard to keep moving forward. They felt tired and afraid as the storm grew stronger. In the middle of the night, the disciples saw someone walking toward them on the water. At first, they were very afraid and cried out,
"It is a ghost!"
But Jesus spoke to them and said,
"Take heart, it is I. Do not be afraid."
When they heard his voice, peace filled their hearts. Peter looked at Jesus and said,
"Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water."
Jesus answered Peter, saying,
Come.
Peter stepped out of the boat and began to walk on the water toward Jesus. As long as Peter kept his eyes on Jesus, he walked safely. Step by step, he moved closer to him. But then Peter noticed the strong wind and the tall waves around him. Fear filled his heart, and he began to focus on the storm. When Peter looked away from Jesus, he began to sink. He cried out,
"Lord, please, save me!"
Jesus immediately reached out his hand and caught him, saying,
O you of little faith, why did you doubt?
Together, they walked back to the boat. As soon as they stepped inside, the storm became calm. Peter learned that when he focused on Jesus, he was safe. But when he focused on the storm, fear took over. Jesus showed his disciples that trusting him means keeping our eyes on him, even when life feels stormy. Sometimes we face storms too. When we focus on our fears, we may feel overwhelmed. But when we keep our eyes on Jesus, he gives us peace and strength. Jesus is always ready to reach out and help us.